بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
A logical fallacy is a flaw in reasoning. Fallacies are like tricks or illusions of thought, and are often quite sneakily used by people in power, like politicians and the media, to fool the people. Now, there are many different types of logical fallacies. In this short series, we'll just go through a few of them to make sure when the people around us are trying to prove something, we know when they're being genuine and when they're just trying to pull one up our sleeves. The first fallacy, which is very commonly used, is called the Strawman Fallacy. Now, the Strawman Fallacy is when a person misrepresents their opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. As a quick example, imagine someone came up to you and said, "Just look at what Islam says about women working and how they have absolutely no place in society. Instead, they should be locked up in their houses and serving their husbands. Islam is such an oppressive religion, it gives no rights to women." Okay, now let's pause here for a second. Let's rewind back to the very first thing the person said. Whoever said Islam says women have absolutely no place in society? While there is no denying that one of the primary roles of a woman is the role of motherhood and shaping the future generations to come through correct Islamic child upbringing and tarbiyah, what's interesting and often overlooked is that this in itself is a societal role. You're shaping tomorrow's generation of society. But, in fact, not only does Islam advocate societal roles for women in this sense, rather in certain circumstances it even becomes wajib for a woman to take up roles in society. So for example, there are certain professions that only a woman can take up, like being a radiologist who takes sonographies for pregnant women, for example, or for example, women counselors for the sisters in our communities. These are just a few examples of roles that Islam advocates for women. Hence you see how the presenter of the argument has chosen to conveniently discard the truth and make a completely baseless and rash claim that Islam is an oppressive religion based on ascribing something to the religion of Islam that the religion of Islam doesn't even say in the first place. It's like, imagine there's a crowd of people having a debate around two guys. So these two guys are having a debate. The first guy turns around and says to people that kittens are very cute. But before he can even say something else, the second guy turns around to the crowd and says, "Look at this horrible, horrible person. What he's trying to say is that puppies are in fact ugly and pathetic." To which the crowd now starts booing the first person. And they boo him so loudly he can't even say that that's not what he was trying to say in the first place. You see what's happening here. And that's exactly why it's called the Strawman Fallacy. Because, in essence, you're doing nothing except a man. You have yourself made out of straw. And that's not something hard to do. So join us inshallah in the next episode as we go through another fallacy that people often resort to.